You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity, with a quick roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, February 20th through Saturday, February 26th, 2022. What do you picture when you picture Paris? Cowboy hats? Cactuses? Mormon temples? Sure, everyone's heard of Paris, France, but did you know that there are 16 Parises in the United States alone? From now through April 1st, Franco-American ethno-photographer Victor Dallon will bring 7 of these cities to ours in a photo display set outside the gates of Hôtel de Ville. Paris, Texas boasts that it is the second largest Paris in the world, and its Eiffel Tower wears a bright red cowboy hat. The Eiffel Tower in Paris, Kentucky is only 3 meters high, but still stands tall as a symbol of Bourbon County. But not all Parises sparkle like these. The Mormon temple in Paris, Idaho has become too big for the town's 500 inhabitants, and the closure of a broom factory has left Paris, Illinois with a huge economic hole. Through Allon's photographs, you'll discover these treasures and more, and get a glimpse into the pride the U.S. Parises feel in their connection to our City of Light. Paris, USA will be on display through Friday, April 1st on the gates of Hôtel de Ville. More information can be found at paris.fr. No, you're not hallucinating. That really is a 25-meter-long fluorescent pink jellyfish you see before you. Every year, the Hôtel Molitor Paris hosts an art installation as part of its De l'art dans le bassin project, or Art in the Pool. From now through March 31st, you can find this year's art installation, Médusa, floating above the swimming pool in the Hôtel Molitor. This jellyfish is the work of French street artist Retro Graffitiism, produced in conjunction with the agency We Are So Art Addict. It is 25 meters long and weighs around 285 kilos. It's made of several hundred square meters of fishing nets, made in Brittany, patched up by 600 nautical knots, with 900 meters of handcrafted piano wires for the tentacles, and glows bright pink at night. It was made almost entirely in France and designed to have the lowest possible environmental impact. Médusa is open every day from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and is free to view, but the pool below is reserved for guests of the Hôtel Molitor or its spa. Rooms start at 270 euros a night, so, worth it? Find more information at medusa-art.com. That's MEDOUSA-ART.com. Have you heard of Kinuyo Tanaka? She lived from 1909 to 1977, started her career as a Japanese actress, and became one of Japan's first female directors. With a career that began in silent films and ended in television, Tanaka is widely regarded as one of the greatest stars of Japanese cinema, with more than 200 films to her filmography. In 1953, she moved behind the camera to become the first post-war female filmmaker. From now through March 1st, the Luxor is presenting a retrospective of Tanaka's work, so that you can get to know her better through her films. On the program, you'll find 6 films that have never before been screened in France and have been beautifully restored to a 4K version. The Kinuyo Tanaka retrospective will take place at the Luxor Cinema through Tuesday, March 1st. Reservations are recommended. For more information, including ticketing and programming, please visit cinemaluxor.fr. That's CINEMALOUXOR.fr. We began today's show with a look at Paris in the United States. It's time now to take a closer look at the Paris in France, or more specifically, the Parisians within it, with an exhibition of the work of artist Louis-Léopold Boilly called Chroniques Parisiennes, or Parisian Chronicles, 1761 to 1845. Boilly lived through France's monarchy, the French Revolution, the Napoleonic Empire, the Bourbon Restoration, and the July Monarchy, and his work reflected life in Paris during this time, often with portraits and humorous caricatures of the urban middle class. His work also coined the term trompe-l'œil, or trick of the eye. Quote, Boyer distinguished himself in the art of small portraiture, which he made his trademark. These studies of expressions are often accompanied by caricatures that reflect the offbeat, sometimes biting look that he has on his contemporaries. Humor and acuity of the gaze are found in his trompe-l'œil with a dazzling illusionist quality. End quote. Chronique Parisien at the Musée Cognac-G will showcase 130 of Boyer's works of art, from private collections and prestigious international institutions, many of which will be exhibited for the first time in France. Boyer, Chronique Parisien, 1761 to 1845, will be at the Musée Cognac-G from now through Sunday, June 26th. For more information, please visit museecognacg.paris.fr. That's museecognacqjay.paris.fr. From one pointed perspective to another, we turn now to Regard at the Maison de Victor Hugo, or Victor Hugo's house, for a new exhibition that plays with how we look at things. This exhibit has not been curated by a historian or a specialist, but by Lucienne Forest. Never heard of her? That's kind of the point. Lucienne Forest was invited to delve into the collections of Paris's various museums to craft an exhibit that questions our perceptions through 80 works of art, drawings, sculptures, paintings, street art, photography, all presented in such a way as to make you participate in the discovery. You'll move through the house in 4 stages. First, you'll question your relation to the world by turning inward, becoming introspective. Second, you'll examine the difference between seeing and looking through a series of devices arranged like a labyrinth, and experience stolen glances, forbidden glances, passing glances, furtive glances. Third, you'll move to the land of vision and imagination, exploring a world where illusions become reality. And last, you'll question perception in the modern age, with looks and images through all kinds of screens. The Regard exhibition was designed by Lucien Forest, non-specialist curator, and is the result of a collaboration between Paris Museums and the University Hospital Group, Paris Psychiatry and Neurosciences Sainte-Anne, and the mutual aid group, Le Passage. I'll say no more. Discover for yourself who the real Lucien Forest is. Regard will be at the Maison de Victor Hugo from now through June 5th and is free to attend. More information can be found at maisonvictorhugo.paris.fr. That's maisonvictorhugo.paris.fr. Are you as obsessed with French food, wine, and cheese as I am? If so, you may be interested in the Terroir podcast. Hosts culinary journalist Emily Monaco and chef and wine expert Caroline Connor explore the links between the foods, wines, and more to the places they're from and the people who make them. Listen now to the Terroir podcast on parisundergroundradio.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be right back with Don't Miss This after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This. Close your eyes. Imagine 1,000 orchids in full bloom, the most beautiful and rare orchids in the world, all gathered together in one place. Now, open your eyes and head to the magnificent tropical greenhouse in the Jardin des Plantes to make that dream a reality. 1001 orchidées, or 1,001 orchids, returns to the Jardin des Plantes from Wednesday, February 23rd through March 21st. For this 9th edition, 4 French orchid producers will showcase their original plants in scenes teeming with flowers. With 92,000 orchid specimens divided into continents, Africa, Asia, the Americas, Oceania, and Europe, now is your chance to discover 1,000 wild species. You can also follow along 2 orchid trails, highlighting 20 unmissable orchids. The first designed by influencer Romain Marais, and the second designed by the museum's gardeners and botanists. You'll also have the opportunity to purchase some orchids of your own, thanks to a temporary shop on site. 1001 orchidées will run from Wednesday, February 23rd through March 21st, and more information can be found at jardindesplantesdeparis.fr. That's jardindesplantesdeparis.fr. Louis-Léopold Boilly may have been the social commentator of his time, but in our time we have Hassan Khan, whose exhibit Blind Ambition will run at the Centre Pompidou from Wednesday, February 23rd through April 25th. Through multimedia installation, Hassan Khan's work, quote, tackles with discreet irony the balance of power that defines the political and social atmosphere of the contemporary world, end quote. Khan makes his home in Cairo and Berlin, and his work has won international acclaim for its biting play between poetry and satire, the grotesque and the dreamlike, heritage and the popular. Blind Ambition marks the first time that Hassan Khan's work will be presented in a French institution, and will include both older and more recent works, as well as new creations organized in new constellations and remixes. The devices, music, and points of view vary according to the scenography, and the landscape in Gallery 3 was specifically designed by the artist. Blind Ambition will be at the Centre Pompidou from Wednesday, February 23rd through April 25th. For more information, including ticketing, please visit centrepompidou.fr. That's centrepompidou.fr. Last but not least, we have a show that is as bizarre to an American as it is integral to the French. I'm talking, of course, about the cultural phenomenon that is the Salon d'Agriculture, or the Agriculture Show. 2020 Salon was cut short, and last year's was cancelled altogether. This year's organizers warn that it will not be quite what you're used to due to continuing COVID restrictions. Strict health measures and constraints will be in place. You'll need to wear a mask and have proof of vaccination. The pavilions will be ventilated, and very strict monitoring of the conditions necessary for consumption and tastings will be in force, with COVID referenced by area of the show and a specific health unit. That being said, this 58th edition's theme is Agriculture, Our Daily Life, Your Future, and it will revolve around 4 pillars: livestock and its sectors, crops, gardening, and plant sectors, products from French overseas regions and around the world, and agriculture services and professions. Did I mention that this salon has a winning cow as its mascot? Well, it does. And this year's guest of honor is Neige, a cow from Haute-Savoie. Neige is an abondance cow that belongs to the Misselier family and produces milk, which is then used to make Robuchon cheese. She is 4 years old and is called Neige because, quote, she was born on a ski slope, end quote. In terms of entertainment, you'll find workshops, demonstrations, competitions for wine and animal products, conferences, and, of course, tastings. But please, don't let me downplay the animals. You'll find more than 4,000 animals from 350 breeds. Goats, sheep, rabbits, cows, bulls, horses, ponies, mules, donkeys, pigs, cats, dogs, fish, and all the farmyard animals. A milking parlor, an educational farm, a goat farm, and more. Is that not enough for you? What more could you need? Celebrity guests? Well, you're in luck. Aside from politicians galore, Aurélie Jean from L'amour est dans le pré will offer a tasting of meats in sauce. And Aurélie Cochard from Le Meilleur Pâtissier will share her recipe for rice pudding and talk about her farm. The Salon d'Agriculture will take place from Saturday, February 26th through Sunday, March 6th at the Parc des Expos de Paris, Porte de Versailles. For more information, including programming and ticketing, please visit salon-agriculture.com. That's salon-agriculture.com. Well, that's it for this week's roundup of Don't Miss This. I hope this week treats you well. If you enjoyed this roundup, please tell a friend. If you venture out to any of the events mentioned in this podcast, please let me know and tag Paris Underground Radio on Facebook or Instagram. And if you think you have an event we should know about, please feel free to email me at hello@parisundergroundradio.com with the subject line, Don't Miss This. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria, JennyPhoria. Don't Miss This is produced by me for Paris Underground Radio. For more on Don't Miss This and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com. Thank you so much for listening, and happy exploring! Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Garrity for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.